Ask yourself the question, are we on the right track? Are we doing the right thing to get you better? For most people sitting here, the answer is no. Why? Because we have a Walgreens on every corner. We have a Rite Aid on every corner. We have a Walgreens, a Rite Aid, we have a CVS on every corner. We have more doctors, we have more hospitals, we have more technology than ever before, and we rank second to last for overall health. Okay? There is less surgery going on in other countries than here. There are more people on pain medication in the United States than anywhere else. The average person is taking 3 to 4 different medications. The average elderly person is on 6 to 7 different medications. Are we on the right track? The answer is no. I know that where we are today statistically is not working. Why? Because the pharmaceutical company, the companies spend $5 billion advertising to you for ads for drugs. It's between commercials, it is a little higher by this statistic, it's by commercials, it's on magazine ads, it's everywhere. And they spend $5 billion advertising to you, it's double. It's around $10 billion they're spending advertising on us to give to you. Dr. Riley's conflict of his heart, his mother, who's 95, we had the service for her on Sunday. God bless her. And the one thing he told me, he goes, my mom was not on any medication. Ask yourself this question. Are the people taking the most medications in this country the healthiest or the sickest? And I will tell you, if we were to say this a few years ago, some people would be sitting here and going, you guys are wrong. Everybody knows today for every drug there's a side effect. Everybody knows today every drug goes through 2 organs, your liver and your kidneys. Everybody knows today that if you open up a magazine ad, you have 3 pages afterwards that reads all the side effects. The problem is that, and this is not here to put down your doctors. This is not here to put down your orthopedist. We're not here to make, but I'm going to tell you, no one's going to care about your health as much as you do. You got to care about your body, because without your body you have nothing. I realize that today is that when people are coming up here and I'm asking what the problem is, they go they're sick of going to their doctors. Okay? So, without your health you have nothing. So, as I get into this, I'm going to talk about back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, hip pain, what's working, what's not working. Realize that this paper in front of you that some of you have filled out is that for most of you, let's do it. Raise your hand if you circled one problem. If you only circled one problem you're having. All right, so maybe 6 people out of what? 48? Most people here don't have one musculoskeletal problem. They have a few. Most of you almost like ran out of ink, circling everything. For some of you, you go, I have a whole problem here, Why is it important to fix something as soon as you feel it? The reason it's important to fix the first thing as soon as you feel it is so it doesn't build up other problems. Let me give you an example. For some of you, let's say you have a knee problem. When you walk and you have a bad knee, you're not going to walk with a normal gait. You're going to walk with a little bit of a limp. And you're going to start to lean your body weight on the other side. And you're going to build up something called a compensation problem. Make sense? So if you don't fix the first problem, same reason if you have a bad right shoulder. You're going to reach for everything with the left shoulder. And you're going to develop something called a CTD, a cumulative trauma disorder. It's a repetitive sprain strain where you start to wear the other thing. I'm not a good dancer, don't ask me to dance, but everyone has seen that, heard that song, your leg bone's connected to my bone. Right. That's true. In medicine, it's called the kinetic chain. One body part will affect another body part. So if you don't fix one, it leads to the next one, and then you start to wear away the rotator cuff muscle or the labrum in your hip, and it starts to use it, and now the joint starts to wear away, and you're building up degeneration or arthritis, which almost 95% of the people said they know they have here today. Okay? That's why it's important to fix these things. Ask yourself this question. With these forms you filled out, ask yourself, What's your pain robbing you of?
Life.
Besides life, yes. And that, okay, and your health. Because what happens, people go, I can't spend time with my family. I'm sick of being a burden to everybody else. I don't like to look for the last parking space and see if someone took the handicap parking before I did. Okay? People, go in to do your grocery shopping for you, your laundry for you. Okay? It robs you. You can't go for your trips like you want to go away. You can't hold your bags the way you want to go. Okay? It robs people of their life. It also, guess what it does to your emotions? When people are in pain, usually they nicer or they get a little aggravated.
It worse.
It gets depressed. And when people are in pain, they get moody. They get cranky. They get nasty. When you're in pain, it actually changes your physiology. When you're in pain, it changes actually the person who you are. It's called redirected anger. You're yelling at someone about the orange juice, but you're just mad because you can't walk and go get it or it hurts. Ask yourself, when you're in pain, do you think your blood pressure goes up or down? Okay. So, right, above your kidneys, you have something called adrenal glands. And your adrenal glands produce something called adrenaline. When you're in pain, your blood pressure goes up. When you're in pain, it produces a chemical called cortisol, which hangs out with a guy named cholesterol. So are you telling me, Dr. Kaner, when I'm in pain, my blood pressure goes up and I have higher chance of cholesterol problems? The answer is yes and yes. You do. And the problem with blood pressure medication in this country, and a lot of drugs in this country, it was never meant to be taken long term. Get that? Drugs in this country were never meant to be taken long term, and as opposed to your doctor telling you, let's start you to exercise, eat right, get you healthier so we can reduce the amount of blood pressure medication you're on, it's important. Why? Because for people with blood pressure problems, they don't die of heart problems. The majority of them die of some type of kidney problem. And if any of you have gone through any family members that are on dialysis, it's awful.
Here he is.
Okay, so are we on the right track? The answer is no. So, just with a show of hands, again, show me again how many people here have the neck pain. Okay. How many people here have some shoulder problems? Okay. A lot. It's always interesting with the shoulder problems because they're always going like this.
Oh, yes.
They're not going there. Okay. Anybody here get the neck problem or any tingling and numbness in your hand? Leo? Right? Sharp shooting, spastic tingling, numbing. Loss of grip strength, difficulty opening up a jar or a bag, holding on to something. Okay. Anybody here get the pain between the shoulder blades?
Yes.
Lower back pain? Okay, more than half the room. Anybody here get the pain that goes into the butt, down the legs, into the toes? Tingling, numbness? Yes. And give me femur head, hip problems. Hips?
Yes.
Okay. And the knees?
Yeah.
Knees. Okay, a lot of knees. Okay. Okay. So ask yourself, the reason I do that is for two reasons. Number one, it gives me an indication of what I need to spend time on. Number two, it gives you an idea as that you looked around how many other people have that problem. And I want you to realize this, is that it's common to have those symptoms, but it's not normal. I'll say it again. It's common to have those symptoms. It's not normal. Okay? So, some of the things I want to ask you this is, what are some of the, if some of you have lower back pain, some of the things you want to look at is your problems coming from a nerve, a muscle, or a disc problem. Okay? The reason I'm going to go over this in 5 minutes is this reason. Your doctors can't fix what they can't diagnose correctly. Just because you have pain, that doesn't mean that's the diagnosis. Pain is just a way of your body is telling you there's something wrong. And I know you're sick of it. I'm going to get to that. But realize, your body tells you when you're hungry. Your body tells you when you're thirsty. Your body tells you when you're in pain. It's like your alarm clock going off telling you there's something wrong. And growing up, you should not just, and some of you should not just be taking pain medication to shut the pain down because it causes other side effects. Taking pain medication, taking a muscle relaxer does not fix the underlying fundamental cause of the problem. If anything, it covers up the symptom, why your condition gets worse. And for those of you who are taking a muscle relaxer for your hip, your neck, your back, or anywhere else, what do you think? What's the most important muscle you have in your body? Your heart. Do you think that muscle relaxer just goes where the spasm is, or does it go to all the other organs? It goes to all of them. You can go across. Dan?
I thought you can't dance.
So the first question is, you're going to go to your doctor and find out what's causing my problem. And there's different ways to figure that out, whether it's with CAT scans, MRIs, X-rays, blood work, nerve conduction tests where you have tingling and numbness. Because again, doctors can't treat what they can't diagnose. And for some of you go, I know what my problem is. It's arthritis. I know my problem is. It's a supraspinatus. It's a rotator cuff. It's my labral tear. It's my meniscus. It's arthritis. It's degeneration. You know what the problem is, but they haven't fixed it. So the second part of this talk is to tell you why you might have to change what you're doing to fix the problem, because what you're doing isn't working. So, some doctors do a history and you're supposed to do an exam. But I know for some of you, your doctors are spending about 6 minutes with you. And that includes you walking in the door. Because I know, because you have patients that come to us and go, my doctor didn't even turn around a room. My doctor did not even ask me all those questions that they should have been asking. Okay. The other thing is, have they done X-rays? Have they done lab tests? And have done MRIs? And if you can read up here, it says MRIs can be misleading. How many people had MRIs here? Okay. Has anybody seen that show on TV? Inside Edition? You seen Inside Edition? No. Okay, so what other shows are like that, Doc? Dateline 2020? Everybody familiar with one of those shows? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give you behind the scenes doctor stuff that goes on. The real Inside Edition. So, before I get into neck pain and back pain, I'm going to explain to you this. Okay? For the majority of you, for you to feel any pain that you're feeling, it means something's hitting a nerve. So to start off with. If you have neck pain, if you have mid-back pain, shoulder pain, hip pain, it means something's hitting a nerve. Why? Because only a nerve carries a pain receptor. Only nerves carry a pain receptor. So the question is what's hitting that nerve? Is it a muscle? Is it a bone? Is it a disc? Is it a tear? Is it two bones coming through the tunnel, hitting the median nerve, called the carpal tunnel? What's hitting the nerve? There are different things that can hit a nerve. For example, if you have headaches or neck pain, something's hitting the nerve in here, and if you pinch a nerve in your neck, it can cause you to have headaches. If you pinch a nerve in your neck, it can go into your shoulder. If you pinch a nerve in your neck, it can go into your elbow or into your hand. And you can have a double crush syndrome where you have a pinched nerve in your neck and in your hand. And sometimes they'll do that carpal tunnel surgery, they'll cut it, the patients will go, it didn't fix it. I still have it. Why? It's because the nerve is pinched two areas. If you pinch a nerve in your lower back, also the biggest nerve in your lower back is called your sciatic nerve, which goes into your butt, down your hamstring, into your calf, and into your toes. Before I continue on, there's two things I want to take 10 minutes with. Number one is this. How many of you have been diagnosed with arthritis? Almost all of you. If your doctor has told you that your arthritis is part of the normal aging process,
Yes.
don't believe it. Your arthritis is not part of the normal aging process. Why? Let me give you an example. If you have arthritis in one shoulder and it's not in the other shoulder, is one shoulder older than the other? If you have 5 discs in your lower back and 3 of them have rust in it, by the way, I call arthritis human rust. If you have 5 discs and 3 of them are degenerative, 3 of them have arthritis in it, and the 2 don't, they're the same age. So arthritis is not age dependent. You can have degeneration in your cushion, your knee, called your meniscus. More on one side than the other side. The knees are the same age. Has your doctor ever told you this? Besides it being your age, they might just say, yeah, it just, you're older now, it's gonna happen. Well, I've had Mary come in with arthritis in one knee, and I go, what's the problem? She goes, it must be my age. I go, well, your other knee's the same age. You get it? Same age. So what is arthritis? Arthritis is a condition that happens in a joint. Arthritis is a condition that happens in a joint where the joint has been damaged, overloaded, or irritated. And that arthritis, unfortunately, is not self-correctable. Once arthritis sets in, it is pathologically progressive. It's aggressive and it gets worse. Everybody understand that? It does not self-correct arthritis. Has your doctor told you this? You just have to live with it. Yes? Okay. The second thing I want to explain to you is this. About cortisone. And I'm going to spend 2 minutes on cortisone. Because I know a lot of people have gotten cortisone injections in their hips, their shoulders, their tendons, their knees, their back, their necks, or even epidurals. If you don't learn anything else from me today, please do not take another cortisone injection again in your life. Do you want to know why? Okay. First of all, everybody know this magazine? AARP?
Yes.
How many injections, cortisone injections, does Medicare allow you to have per year? Anybody else?
3.
Who said it?
I said 3.
You got it. Medicare only allows you to have 3 cortisone injections per year. Here's the reason why you should never take another cortisone injection in your life. First of all, why do doctors give it? Because cortisone is supposed to reduce pain, swelling, and inflammation. It's supposed to reduce pain, swelling, and inflammation. It does that, and that's how we're trained in school. But the number one side effect of cortisone is that it speeds up arthritis.
And it comes back.
For cortisone to live in your body, it eats blood. Cortisone causes rapid, progressive degeneration of a joint. So why do doctors give it? Because that's how we're trained. Here's the other side effect of cortisone, is that if you're a woman, it causes increased amounts of osteopenia, which leads to osteoporosis. Cortisone has also been linked to increased blood sugar. Cortisone also increases your chances of cataracts and it weakens your immune system. So we don't give it. Everything we do in our office is natural and it comes from a plant with no side effects.